microphone. Here we are. KWK on the 29th of August, 2025. Thank you for joining us today, and those of you who will be joining us in the days to come, we welcome you as well. That was Larry Graham. I was going to ask for the jam, but Kevin played it and then brought me in. So thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that very much. It's all good, all good. I want to thank the team for setting us up here today. We're here in the award-winning KBC in Houston, Texas, and glad to be here. A couple of announcements. First of all, as I've shared with you on social media, we got as Ed Sullivan used to say, a really big show today, and two of the guests are already here. Did you text the third one? Yeah. Oh, good. All right. We got three guests talk to us about health management in general and weight gain, weight loss, weight management in particular. It's going to be inspiring, it's going to be enlivening, and educational. By the way, I heard y'all ask one of our guests not to cross their legs. Are we not supposed to cross our legs? Oh.
It was just in the shot in the beginning.
Oh, I see. I know. I want to do what's right. So look, Houston Ballet. Here we go. Any drummers in here? Can I get a drum roll, please? Kevin, did you play drums in high school?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. You do that pretty well.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, cool Ron over here. He didn't even try. He got his little burger. He got a little Burger King cup. And Charles over there trying to act like he's engaged and working. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. So look, Ballet, Houston Ballet. The Houston Ballet is going to offer classes free of charge to our seniors. The Houston Ballet right here at the KBC. That is incredible. We invite you to start signing up RAT right now. Is that info, what Charles, what is it? Info at WVUMC.com?
Perfect.
Oh, info at WV as in Victory UMC.com. If you are interested in signing up and being a part of a Houston Ballet Company class, free of charge, right here at the KBC, sign up right now. Pastor, no, wrong word. Bishop don't like that. Caldwell, when will it be? We don't know. It's going to be during the week. When will it start? We're going to let it start after everybody signs up and when you want it to start. But it'll be in the month of September. We're going to get this thing rolling, and we're honored and happy to have them on board, clearly. And we'll make that announcement later on in the show. All right. Got a chance for another drum roll. Drum roll, please. Oh, my gosh. The same guy. Thank you, Kevin. Once again, Ron and Charles, and needless to say, Don, they just don't give a poop, and they just sitting there. But it's all good. They set us up. I can't complain. And they volunteer in their time, at least today. So we're grateful for that on a serious basis. So look, who remembers Debt Boot Camp? Remember Debt Boot Camp? Debt Boot Camp, huh? Now they're saying something. Okay. Debt Boot Camp was off the chain. Specifically, it helped you get your credit scores up. It offered strategic ideas for how to reduce your debt most effectively and efficiently to add the most value to your personal balance sheet. It's coming back. Bottom line is it's coming back. And I'll have next week details on it, but it starts September, I want to say the 27th. We can get that information to you. But Debt Boot Camp was off the chain in Jesus' name. And if you're having, forget problems with your budget. If you want your budget to be managed more efficiently, and I don't know anybody who doesn't, Debt Boot Camp is for you. And Rudy's going to come on over and make it happen with a score. And that'll begin, again, third week in September. We invite you to sign up. Same email, I presume, right? All right. So for ballet, it is info@wvumc.com and just put ballet, Ballet. I wonder what does ballet mean. Is it French? It sounds French, doesn't it? Anyway, and if you want Debt Boot Camp, just put DBC, Debt Boot Camp, and that way we can distinguish who's turning left and who's turning right. If you want both, you want the ballet sign up and Debt Boot Camp, which I would recommend, then we invite you to just put both of them down there. Put ballet and Debt Boot Camp. It's just come on in. Just bust the set wide open. Just walk on in. It's all good. And we're so glad you came all the way from College Station. We'll be introducing you in just a second. Oh, gosh, you try to be polite and wave at people. Just, you're so funny. So, ballet is for seniors only. Now, how do y'all want to define seniors? 55 older, 60 and over, what? Huh? Now, Tosh, you just got here. You going to have, okay. Well, you say 55 over? 65. Oh, Lord. We're going to add grace and drop it down to 55 since it's the ballet. Just give them a little break. And if you're 65 and over, we'll give you first preference. How about that? But the class size will be limited. So it's first come, first serve. I highly recommend you sign up today. Same thing with Debt Boot Camp. Sign up right now. And we look forward to seeing you. So that's ballet, Debt Boot Camp. What else? Oh, if you're traveling the holidays and you're viewing this broadcast before Labor Day, we're praying for you. Safe travels. Number of you have been asking about 8 o'clock service. We'll be announcing whether that's going to happen. Well, it will happen. The question is when, and we'll have details on that. And we appreciate you talking it up. So I think that's all. Any other announcements that we need to hear? Oh, I got one more. Can you hit jam one more time? Please. Love that song. Still do. All right. Thank you. Listen. The birthday party was a blast. I understand a number of you had a good time, a great time. We met with the brothers on Monday night. They're looking for an excuse to have another party. It was great fellowship, great fun, great food, great dancing. Even my daughter said it was a cool party. That was a real big compliment. But I had a good time. Somebody asked me, what was my favorite portion? Oh, and Don. Don was the producer. He pulled it all together and did a wonderful job as a volunteer. Thank you, Don. Thank you. When's the next party? When is the next party?
Next year.
Oh, Lord. Shouldn't have asked him. Should not ask him at all. It was great. Somebody asked me, what was your favorite part of the party? My favorite part so I thought about that. My favorite part of the party was, believe it or not, this is going to sound simple. When they wished me, when they sang happy birthday. I don't know why. Y'all can still be singing. I mean, I enjoyed hearing that. Maybe I hadn't heard it in a minute. But seriously, thank you. Well, seriously, that was my favorite part. And seriously, thank you very much for coming. Really appreciate it. And for the envelopes and the cards and gifts, thank you very much for that, too. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. And God bless you. So now we get to the stars of the show. Really big show. As I've been promoting for the last couple of days on social media, today we are going to talk about health care, personal health care management in general, and weight, WEIGHT. Did I spell weight? Weight management in particular. And before I give my little spiel, let me introduce our special guest today, starting on my extreme left and your right. What's your married name nowadays? Beg pardon? Young Risher?
Young Risher.
Oh, you put them together.
I did.
Ah, okay. This is the recently doctorized Natasha Young Risher.
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 Like Fisher, but with an R.
Oh, got it.
Risher.
Got it. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Appreciate you coming all the way in from College Station.
Absolutely.
By the way, Dr. Natasha, first of all, she just got a doctorate from Sam Houston.
Sam Houston State.
In what?
Counselor Education and Supervision.
Counselor education. Now, if her face looks familiar, number one, she's been here for 1,000 years. But number two, are you still on staff, kind of helping out? Good. Talking to us and keeping us mentally and emotionally healthy. We appreciate that greatly. And you got married, what, a couple of years ago?
January of 24.
Okay, congratulations. I shouldn't ask this on live, worldwide, whatever this is, but how you like married life?
I love it.
Oh, good. And her husband is a pastor. I was supposed to say that?
I mean, it's true.
Huh?
It's true.
It's true? Was I not supposed to say it?
I mean, it's fine.
Well, why'd I get that response from you like that? You just still getting accustomed to it, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because I think I know what you're going to say next.
No. In fact, I'm going to Dwayne Flowers.
Okay, good.
I'm going straight to Dwayne Flowers. To her right is another face that's been around here for a long time. He's director of operations at the Uptown, what's it called?
Development Authority.
Development Authority.
Some people call it the Galleria area,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's really not the Galleria area. Galleria is a building, obviously, but the whole district is called the Uptown Development Authority or the district.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for all that explanation, Mr. Flowers. Appreciate it. Dwayne Flowers are in the house. And blessings on your two sons as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. And to his right is another familiar face, Nia Caldwell, who happens to be, I say our daughter. Pastor Suzette's not here, but it's our daughter. She's a second-year law student. I'm not supposed to say
No
that?
details, please. No details.
Well, you the one got on the TSU sweatshirt.
I don't go to TSU.
I know. Anyway, you see what we're doing. You see how this gonna roll. No details. Second-year law student at U of H. Oh, is that what you don't want nobody to know?
It's Daddy. You know my past with the people looking me up. Not y'all people. The white
Oh.
people I used to go to school with.
Oh.
But I'm a little sensitive when it comes to the details.
Oh, well, later for the
Here.
people. They are, anyway, okay.
World Wide
All
Web.
right, yeah. So anyway, they know. Well, yeah, we'll talk about it. So let me start with that. That's a perfect place to start. So here's my pitch. Before I ask the guest there, so this is the way the format will roll out. I'm gonna offer a little introduction, and then each of our guests, I'm gonna pitch a softball to each of our guests. They'll give a 90-second to 2-minute answer. And then we'll kind of talk amongst ourselves. And all the while, if you have questions to ask them, we want to encourage you to ask the questions. And I presume, now does everybody know how to ask the questions? Any special, chat? Okay. Weight loss is a big deal. Weight gain is a big deal. Healthcare management, particularly in these times, is a big deal. Let me lead by saying this. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy. And just because you're bigger than skinny doesn't mean you're unhealthy. So we don't want to judge anybody based on their appearance. So that's number one. Number two, I want to lead with this, if I may. May I tell them that story about the doctor in the Woodlands? Do you remember it? Yeah. So this is the way I want to lead this in. So Nia was about, what, 9 years old? Maybe 8.
Yeah.
So we went to, I guess she was a PD.
She was a black doctor, and it was not in the Woodlands. It was in Houston.
Oh, no. The incident I'm thinking about was in the Woodlands, and she was a white, she happened to have been an Anglo doctor. So we're talking about two different incidents.
I don't think
No.
we were, but
Yeah.
okay.
No, I remember this one. Anyway, let me, maybe there were two. You know what? This is going to be interesting. So anyway, look. We were living in the Woodlands. Most folks know we used to live there anyway, so it's no big deal. And this was a pediatrician who happened to be an Anglo female doctor. You may not remember this. Nia was little tot. And I had taken Nia to this physician on a couple of occasions. But on this particular occasion, we finished a little checkup, and you're not going to believe this. And this doctor says, Nia is overweight. She may have even said fat. I remember fat. Maybe she said overweight. The problem is she said it. Number one, she said it. That was the problem right there. Number two, she said it in front of my daughter. I was livid. And you know, I'm saved, but I'm something started balling up in me. I went all the way back to Fifth Ward. And you know, I went to E.O. Smith Middle School. I won't tell you what year. Well, yeah, I will. But anyway, in Fifth Ward on Lyons Avenue. So when this doctor called my daughter fat, I went back. Now, I didn't say it out loud, but let me tell you what I was thinking. Remember those your mama fat jokes? When she said my daughter was overweight or whatever she said, I went straight back to mama fat joke. Your mama so fat. Your mama so fat, when she jumps up, she gets stuck in the air. Right back to 7th grade. Mama so fat, yep. That when they have dinner call for the walruses at the zoo, your mama shows up with a plate and a bib. Mama so fat. Mama so fat, she had to get a special brazier. Snap, crackle, pop. I was hot. I was so hot, on the way home, I called my mama and said, Mama, guess what this doctor, So the point is, sometimes, anyway, y'all got that point. So I'm going to skip over there. I'm going to come back. I'm going to start left to right. Doctor, how you doing again? So glad you're here, especially all the way from College Station.
Details.
Other day we were talking, you said something very interesting. While most folk are focusing on, some folk anyway, focus on weight loss, for health reasons, you focus on weight gain. What triggered that, and how did you manage it, and why?
So we were talking about when my husband passed away in 2012. Not on purpose, I was already a small person, but started losing weight. I was eating, but I was losing weight. And I knew the truth about my body was that in order for me to gain weight, I had to weight train. And so I got into the gym, and a good friend of mine was a personal trainer, and we started working together, and that was how I gained weight. So I wasn't, it wasn't a venture to really look a certain way. It wasn't about aesthetics. For me, it was about feeling healthy in my body, and not weighing what I was used to weighing didn't feel good for me. And so that's how I got into fitness. One of the ways I got into fitness. But I don't think we said this, but one thing I did want to point out is that even at that time, I think I was probably very small, under 100 pounds, I'll say. But I was diagnosed with high cholesterol even then. And so the point that you made about just because you're small doesn't mean that you are the picture of health. And just because you're not small doesn't mean that you are unhealthy. Our bodies do different things, and mine is genetic. Both of my parents have high cholesterol. And so at about 17, I was told by a doctor that I had high cholesterol, and I had to watch what I ate, and I did that. But I always remained pretty small. It was just genetics, and my metabolism was pretty high. And so that's how I got into fitness. That was a different form of weight management for me than what other people perceive to be the weight management issue. But it was an endeavor for me to feel healthy in my body, and I needed to gain weight, or I believed I needed to gain weight to do that.
We want to come back and pick up on a few things you said, but thank you for that. We're going to move on for introductory purposes to Mr. Flowers. Mr. Flowers is a walking miracle, and I was reminded of that a few days ago. How do you deal with your weight management?
Well, that's a good question, Pastor.
Oh, well, no, don't the bishop hear you say that.
Okay. when I guess approximately 15 to 17 years ago, I really don't know how long ago it was, I was diagnosed with kidney cancer. And so they had to remove both of my kidneys. And since then, I was already gaining some weight because, and I know what my problem was is stress. And I know back then and even sometimes now when I feel stressful, I'm eating. And so I ballooned up and then I just reached a point where, I'll never forget it. I was on my couch and I was like, this is crazy. I've never been like this. I'm an ex-athlete and this is just not me. And, I had that enough is enough experience or I don't know what you want to call it, but I just said to myself, this is crazy. Enough is enough. And so since then, I've dropped about 110 pounds. And I go to dialysis Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where I dialysize. And, it could be emotional because every day when you're in dialysis, you see death. I mean, you may be sitting next to someone today and you come back on Wednesday and they're gone. And when I mean gone, I mean dead. And so you see a lot of that in that place. So that could be emotionally draining on you if you are not prayed up. And I'm always prayed up when I go there. And so I have met the limit to begin the process, but I'm right at the threshold regarding getting on or starting the process to get a new kidney. And so, yeah, but for myself, because I know they put you on some steroids once that happens, for my sake, I want to be comfortable, lose at least another 20 pounds. I have a 50-pound goal that I'm working on. And so I'm working on that part. But like I said, with me personally, it's emotional.
Got it.
It's stressful, and that's why I was ballooning up and eating.
We're going to come back and pick up on that, too. Thank you so much. So, Neil, when I asked you to be on this panel, you said yes right away. I wasn't surprised by it, but maybe I was surprised by how rapidly and readily you accepted the invitation. Why?
Is that a question?
Yes. Why did you accept the invitation to be on the panel to talk about healthcare in general and weight management in particular so readily? Why is that important to you?
It's important for me specifically, not from like the body side, but from the mental side of it. I've gone through a lot of ups and downs in my weight in my life. And when COVID happened, I started to run a lot, I started to exercise a lot, and consequently, I was losing weight. And so through that, people were complimenting me and treating me differently based on how I looked. And this was probably like a 2-year span of kind of losing weight, but that messed with my mental a lot. And so I think it's important to talk about the mental aspect of it. Although my body might be healthy, and even then, there were periods of time like when you went away, when maybe I got injured, I was losing more weight, and people were complimenting on me on that. And I feel like oftentimes as a community, we don't understand how commenting on people's bodies impacts us.
Right.
And like for me specifically, those comments made me feel like I have to lose weight and stay this small in order to be valuable. So that's my little.
Yeah. I see the doctors and they're shaking her head. Let's pick up there and work our way back. And once again, feel free to dial in the questions. So in your particular case, Nia, how did people treat you differently?
Just like strangers were just nicer to me.
When you were larger or smaller?
Smaller.
Were they more flirtatious or what? What are you saying?
No, I'm not talking about men. No.
No, it's just a question. It's a question. It's a question.
Like the men part aside, I didn't really see much of a difference. I feel like that started to change when my confidence got greater. That didn't really have a correlation with my weight and still doesn't. Okay. But strangers, just like family members, just people you see, just the way that they interact.
But were they nicer?
Yeah, they're nicer.
Okay. All right. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Yes, sir. So, Dwayne, you have how many kidneys?
None. 0.
I want you to, mention that again. So, what's been your biggest challenge mentally and emotionally related to the weight management issue? You refer to the emotional and mental aspect, and by the way, nobody knew what I was going to ask them, so you can be as transparent or as non-transparent as you want to be. But I ask you that question with great intentionality because I promise you, there's either somebody else listening right now or somebody else will be listening over the next few days or weeks who are having similar, if not identical, challenges. And I think you may have some insight that'll help them.
No, that's why I'm here. I'm definitely going to be transparent with anyone that needs to hear. But the challenge is when you're on dialysis, it definitely physically drains you. I mean, most people that's on dialysis has to go to sleep. Somehow they have to rest because you're there for 4 hours. I'm there for 5 hours, but and it's like 5.
Excuse me, 5 hours per visit.
Per visit.
That's
So it's 15 hours a week, and so it's very draining. It can be, but for me personally, like I said, and I'm not trying to make this overly religious. But for me personally, I pray. I pray constantly. That's number one. Number two, I have 2 sons. And when I was diagnosed with this, they were young boys. And so I had to set the example that life may not always be fair. And so I needed to show them, although this may be a medical challenge, it does not stop my life. So I made sure that I was the first thing that they saw when they got up in the morning to get them ready for school. I went to every practice. I went to every game for 2 times for both boys so that they can see, you have to approach challenges with a different mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm the example that you should see. And so my biggest challenge is physical now, and has always been, because sometimes I'm just physically drained. But I know God, and I know I have a purpose. I know I have a reason to continue to go because people look, I don't care where you are in your life, and especially if you've chosen this God walk, people that you never know are always watching you. They're always looking at you to see how you handle situations. They say, and like I said, I'm not trying to overly religiousize this, but I know even going to the clinic, I'm very silly, as you know, Pastor. I'm always comedic or joking with folk, but I know that is a gift that God has allowed me to have to open the door to bless someone, to give them some exhortation, to lift them up, to encourage them. And so I've noticed, especially this last week, ironically, there's a couple of people asked me, how do you do what you do? How? Because I'm out of here, and so physically, to answer your question, physically it's very challenging. Sometimes, man, it's just very difficult to function, but God. Because when I go to the clinic at 5 a.m, what I also do is I go to work after that. So I work all day, and then I come home. And if I didn't have anything to do, we're still doing that as well.
Well, Dwayne, I don't know who told you that you were funny. You're not funny. Just teasing. So, Doc, from a therapeutic standpoint, right, or to use your word from Wednesday, cognitively, what are some of the challenges that an individual has to address and overcome to even be a good steward of this whole, weight management in particular, health in general? Because I'll tell you, well, go ahead. We'll go ahead and say that. I don't want to jump in.
Well, it's layered.
Layered.
Because we're talking about a couple of different systems working together.
Okay.
So our emotions with biology, with our thoughts, all working together. So it's layered.
Yeah.
So one of the challenges is something Nia mentioned is the socialization that we experience, right? So society tells us that if our body looks a certain way, then we are more valuable. And if it doesn't look a certain way, then we are less valuable.
Could you pause there for a minute? And let's just keep it real. Oftentimes, that assessment is based on a Eurocentric model.
Absolutely.
I remember, I'm interrupted, but I want to say this.
That's fine.
Y'all remember, well, it's still, well, I won't say, well, yes, when I won't. There's a popular restaurant in town. And I still remember this guy saying this. Suzette and I have been married, what, 40 years, 30 years? So 29 years ago, well, shoot, I just say where it was. Carrabba's on Kirby, right? So one of the guys who worked there said, and for some reason, he said, I remember stuff I need to forget and forget stuff I need to remember, right? But he was commenting how these women, size 2s, 4s, and 6s, would eat $40, $50 meal. And this was, 30 years ago. And then throw it up before they even left the restaurant. To your point, man, what have we, and that was again 30 years ago, what have we come to as a society? What the hell is going on here, doctor?
Well, that's what's happening, right? Society has decided that there is a look, a body type, a body style, and it is based on the Eurocentric. And the interesting thing about us saying is Eurocentric is in Europe, people don't necessarily look that way. So it's not as Eurocentric as it is white American. And
Thank you.
yeah, and they're not basing that on what general Europeans look like. It is somebody decided. I don't know who they are, and they didn't ask us, and so they didn't get our input. But someone decided that a thin frame with very little body fat was attractive and valuable. So there's that layer that people deal with. It is the external expectation to fit into the mold that society has deemed valuable. And then it is the physical and emotional well-being that most people struggle with. So if I am going through something hard and I am sad about it, or I have a tendency to get stressed out or anxious about it, then I will seek out something to feel better. And generally, I seek out the thing that creates the least amount of resistance. So I may not go to the gym because maybe that's more uncomfortable than I want to be. I may not necessarily go to a counselor because that takes maybe more effort than I want to put in. But I can reach for a bag of chips or a pint of ice cream or a bottle of wine.
Comfort food.
Those are, they're more accessible, and they mask the feeling or give me the feeling that I'm looking for when I don't have it. So of course those things have adverse effects on my body. But the reason that we do that is because our body is created to want to feel good, to get to what we consider homeostasis. So I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't want to get too much into the biology of it. But there are a few hormones that help us feel good in ourselves. Dopamine, endorphins, adrenaline, things like that. That when we seek out the quick fixes, the ice cream, the food, I'll say, because it can be anything. It doesn't have to be ice cream. And when we seek out those things and we eat them, then our body, we get a boost of endorphins or a boost of adrenaline or serotonin or whatever the hormone is that we need in the moment to feel better, and we feel better. And so we create a cycle for ourselves that if I do this, I feel better. When I feel bad, then I do this, then I feel better. And it generally has a negative impact on our bodies. And then, I'll say this really quickly.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
then if I am feeling bad and my body is not operating in the way that it was designed to, maybe I'm depressed, then depression zaps me of motivation, right? And so the thing that would help me is to exercise. But I don't feel like exercising now because I'm too sad to do that. So then I don't go exercise, although it would help me because I don't feel like it. Since I don't exercise and I don't feel better, I don't feel good, so I don't exercise. I don't exercise, so I don't feel better. So we keep ourselves in that cycle. And then we start to feel a certain way about ourselves because of what external messages we're receiving. So it's layered. There's not one fix about it. I say workout, but that's not the only thing that can happen to improve wellness, physical or mental. But it's layered. It's addressing the multiple systems that work together to create overall wellness.
Sounds like not only is it layered, but it's chicken and the eggish. You know. Anyway, let's pause for a second. Any questions so far? Nobody as company. So I have a confession. So, well, before I tell you that part, let me say this morning I had, 2 or 3 boiled eggs, raw spinach, blueberries, pretty good. And as Nia can tell you, I normally cook reasonably healthily and I eat healthily. However, I can't remember which night it was. What the last 7 nights, I had a little pain of it wasn't really ice cream. What's that stuff I buy? Yeah. Well, yeah. But what's it? It's what is it? What's it?
Gelato.
Gelato. I had a little pan of gelato and popcorn. That was my dinner. Everybody was out of town, so I was feeling a certain kind of way. I had eaten a healthy lunch, but that was my, I did my little workout, but boy, that comfort food just soothed me. That's the kind of stuff we have to watch. Every now and then, cool, but every now and then can bite you on the behind.
Pastor, can I
Yeah.
just make a statement there?
Yeah.
Don't sit me next to this doctor anymore. Because she was all in my business, man. She put my business out here,
Yeah.
And I'm doing this here, and I'm like, yeah, the chips and ice cream, yeah, and cookies and those them zingers and all that stuff, man. And I'm going, man. Then I'm trying to work out. Then I feel guilty afterwards. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go work out. Well, I don't feel like working out. Just don't put me next to her anymore. She's please.
Nia did that to you.
No.
See, if Nia had sat there, you would have 6
okay.
degrees of separation.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So for those who are listening, who are saying, I connect with that. That's a challenge for me. But I'm having a hard time breaking the cycle.
Oh, good. That's good.
What? You raised your hand like you're in the 2nd grade. You want to say something?
Well, because when you were talking about the way that you eat healthy and that you had a pint of Talenti, I wanted to say there is no expectation by someone reasonable that this is a perfect type of lifestyle. It is consistency that has the that you get the benefits from. It is consistency and not perfection. So there's no expectation that you will always eat eggs and blueberries for breakfast and you will never have a snack or have some that's unrealistic. And it does not make for a joyous existence. But consistency is how you break the challenge, how you get past the struggle. It's doing it more, and I say this, hopefully there aren't any of my clients on that chat that are identifying themselves as clients. I tell y'all not to do that. But I say this to my clients. Consistency is doing a thing more than you don't do it. It's not doing it every day, because every day would be perfection. It's doing a thing more than you don't do it. And so getting through the barrier is, if you never do it, doing it once is doing it more than you don't do it, right? And then you work yourself up to doing it twice. So 2 days a week you eat well. And then you work your way up to 3 days a week. And it becomes a lifestyle. And that is the ultimate goal, is that it becomes a lifestyle. So if you go to a party and have some cake, you're okay, because for the most part you're doing well by your body and your mind. That's the goal, is to change your perspective, your mindset, and your intentions, and have some consistency, not absolute perfection, because that's unrealistic.
Yeah, I see some things clicking in your head, but what do you want to say?
Well, no, I agree with what you said, but also I think with the consistency part, I just try to focus on like how my body's gonna feel after I do X. So if I don't want to go, which granted I haven't worked out since Tuesday because I did get my hair done. So and I don't feel bad about that because I've been working out. You know, I do it consistently. But if I don't want to go run, I think about how I'm going to feel after. I'm probably going to feel better than how I do right now. If I don't run or work out for 5 days, I'm probably going to have an attitude on the 6th day. So I think about the 6th day and what kind of mood I'm going to be on the 6th day. And I'm like, okay, so let me go today. When it comes to like eating, you know, how am I going to feel after eating this nice salad versus how am I going to feel after eating a, you know, Whataburger, which sometimes I'm going to feel like I want to eat Whataburger, so I eat Whataburger. But it's like for the most part, if I eat Whataburger on a Monday at lunch, like I'm not going to have the energy to do what I need to do for the rest of the day. So that's what I try to think about. It's just the result of the action that I do or don't want to take.
So let me ask you a question. And in fact, I really want to thank you for being on this program because I'm hearing you say things that I haven't heard you say in a while, if ever. So you said something powerful, I thought. You gave yourself permission to not feel guilty. That's pretty good. How do you do that?
It's been a process of that, like a 3-year process, honestly. How do I do that? Honestly, just like having grace and just not recognizing that even
Grace towards yourself.
towards myself, yeah. And even how I got to this point in general was, you know, erasing like my own fat phobia in my brain. And
Fat phobia.
yeah, which she might have a better definition than I do. But basically the idea that if I'm bigger, I'm going to be less valuable, and repeating that to myself. And I tell my friends this, like making comments about our body, negative comments about our bodies and stuff. It's like, this is not something that you would tell your daughter. It's not something you would tell your friend. Why are you telling yourself? So it's like, until you break that down in yourself, I believe you don't believe that the same applies to the women around you. So I had to break that down within myself. And I guess that correlates to like, if I eat this or if I don't work out, what is going to happen by me doing it today? The inverse of that, like you can get stuck in like a rut thinking that way, but I don't know. It's just this one day of me having this one meal is not going to kill me.
Huh. Fat phobia. Is that what? Yeah. I suppose so, but I'd never heard it expressed like that, Dwayne.
I'm learning, man. I think that's what I was dealing with, fat phobia, you know. So.
And part of it, if I may add, one
Yeah.
thing that helped me kind of break that down within myself, and like I say, I don't bully myself into submission of doing things, but one thing I did bully myself out of was,
Did you say bully yourself?
yeah, I don't bully myself into, like while I'm working out, I'm not bullying myself. I'm thinking about, you know, my health. I might be challenging myself, but I'm not, denigrating myself in order to do something. But one thing I did have to be harsh on myself about was just when I look at myself in the mirror, not making negative comments about myself, because when I become a mother one day, I don't want that to inadvertently be passed down to her. And I feel like as women, we don't know that that's happening, but a lot of times the pattern just keeps repeating. And if I feel a certain way about myself, I'm for sure going to reflect that into my children.
When Dr. and Nia, and I intentionally leave you out of this, Dwayne, because you're not a woman, I have to ask this question in light of your comments. What percentage of women would you say belittle themselves or speak negatively of themselves because of their weight?
I don't know a number, but I would say a large percentage.
Really?
Yeah, because we are socialized that way. So if I don't look like the socially acceptable model, then I start to believe, because I'm giving external messages and then internal messages, that I am not as pretty. I don't believe that. I'm not that. I've never been that person, thanks to my mother. But I've worked with tons of people
Yeah.
and raised a daughter who is a young adult. And even though the messages I gave her didn't go along with that, she was out in public school and private school and around other people who did reinforce those messages. And so she's pretty good, I think. I'm her mom, so maybe I'm biased, but I don't think that she has fallen victim to being unkind to herself. But that's one of the things that I loved that Nia said was we have to get to a place, I say this to people all the time, of giving ourselves grace and being kind to ourselves. We will do it for other people.
Mhm.
I might meet a stranger and be kind to them because I want to show them God in me, right? But I'm not going to do that
For yourself.
for myself.
Yeah.
And so when I talk to clients who are working through these negative internal messages, I say that all the time. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Be graceful to yourself. The same grace you would offer your child or somebody that you care about. Start with you. And then once you have enough of it, it'll spill over. You can give it to other people. You'll have enough to share.
So either Nia or Natasha, y'all can decide who's going to do this. But I'm asking one of you, as the folk used to say, old school, look into the camera. Look into the camera and just offer a word of encouragement to a sister or brother who practices negative self-talk.
I'd say your body, the body that you're in right now, is doing enough, obviously, for you to be alive. It wakes you up, it walks you around. It's, your brain is functioning. So I'd say thank it for what it's doing for you in its current state. And you're, it sounds corny, but like you are enough. And like you're not gonna, the more you just bully yourself into thinking to need a certain way, I feel like you'll never get out of the cycle. If you don't like yourself now, you're not gonna like yourself when you lose 50 pounds if you don't work on the mental. And that's harsh. That's probably not the sweet kind words that, and I also went to a lot of therapy, so she's probably will be better at it, but yeah.
You have anything to add to that, Dwayne or Natasha? I mean, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. I've been meeting a lot of I want. So, Battleground of the Mind devotional is a book I read on a regular basis by Joyce Meyer, and she talks a lot about your mind. And as the old folks say, how your mind plays tricks on you. And as you all have said, how our minds are socialized to play tricks on us. And how people will take advantage of us when they realize that our minds play tricks on us. And basically, these are not her words, but they're mine. Folk will pimp us, given our particular mindsets. And what y'all have said today, which I guess I knew, but not to this extent, is that we'll pimp ourselves. So that's a cycle that needs to be broken. Yeah. So let me take a pause. I think it's about 20 till, and let me say, Houston Ballet is coming to the KBC. I just think that's 10 minutes left. That's all. Well, let me hurry up and make it. Houston Ballet is coming to the KBC. You want to sign up today. There are limited spaces. I don't know how many have signed up so far. I don't want to know, but I do know if you don't. Why? So that's another question. I mean, we don't want to do a panel discussion, but why wait till the last minute? Why we wait till the last minute? And then when the class is full or the party is full, we want to move heaven and earth to get us in. And all you have to do is take 3 minutes out of your busy day a week beforehand and get in legitimately. But anyway, Houston Ballet, they've never done it at a church in the city of Houston. They're going to do it at the KBC. Now's the time to sign up. Similarly, Det Boot Camp. if you want to learn how to manage your budget more effectively. Check this out. Sometimes it's not sufficient to just do what? Pay your bills. Sometimes it's how you pay your bills, who you pay first, how much you pay them. There's a strategy involved with that. Come to Debt Boot Camp and you learn how to. I love this, as the old folk used to say. I say old folk like I'm not 72, but old folk used to say, stretch a dollar and make it holler. Ha! Anyway, do that. Make it happen. And, oh, I forgot another announcement. I don't know who's going to do it, but look at that. Boy, Ron been holding back on me. Ron can do it too. Look at that. Listen, we've got volleyball classes for seniors. Now, if Dr. Natasha has anything to do with it, you got to be 65. We're going to give you some grace, slide in at 55. But you're in a chair, you can move around, you're not going to sprain your ankle or break your leg. Volleyball is not a regulation net, it's just a smaller net for seniors. And they sit right here in the hallway and they play volleyball on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock, free of charge. Free of charge, we invite you to take advantage of that. Says debt, that's volleyball, and that's ballet. Can't beat that with a stick, I say. What you say? What say you? Huh? Yeah. I cannot believe, well, yeah, I guess I can. I was about to say I can't believe there are no questions, but I think the folk who have the questions don't want to ask them. You know what I mean? For fear that they may be identified or, So let's do it this way. We'll start with Dwayne. You haven't talked in a while, Mr. Comedian. What question do you think somebody would have regarding your story, and give us the answer? And if you can't think of one, I will. But I know you can. I know you can because your mind is fertile like that.
I don't know about all that, Pastor. I think a question probably would be, how did you feel? What happened when you first got diagnosed with kidney cancer? Because the flesh in us, when you say the C word or cancer, you're thinking it's a death penalty. So I think someone probably wants to know how did you handle it? How did you feel? What did you do? And how I felt, I was afraid. I was in MD Anderson, and I was just totally numb. And I remember crying like a newborn.
When they first gave you a diagnosis?
When they first gave me the diagnosis, because I'm an only child. I had lost both my parents, and I was married at the time, but that's another story for another day.
I understand.
But what do I do now? I got 2 boys, and what do I do? I mean, I've got diagnosed with cancer, so I had 1,000,001 questions for the doctors, but I remember my bottom line was, what can I do to live? I understand all the everything, and I understand the treatments, potential treatments. I understand the medical portion of it, but I want to know, what do I need to do to live?
Yeah,
that's that athlete in you. What do I need to do to start? What do I need to do to be the best I can to play this game? Yeah. And so that kicked in. And then I just remember, if I died, who's going to raise my sons? I just remember that like it was yesterday.
You had a mentality, I refuse to die.
I refused to die.
Yeah.
And I just started rebuking the enemy and just rebuked the enemy of death coming to my house. Right. It's just not going to happen. Right. And I will say this real quickly, if I may. Yeah. I remember a good friend of mine, I'm not going to mention his name, but he called me up, and I heard the fear in his voice, not in mine.
Yeah.
I heard the fear in his voice. And I remember him saying, "Big dog." And he kind of got quiet, and he said, "Big dog, are you going to be all right?" And I remember I look back on it, and I know it was the Holy Spirit. And I remember telling him, I said, "Look, brother, God gives you 3 sets of friends. The first set can only walk with you so far. And Pastor, I know you know what I'm talking about. And that's when the second sets of friends pick up. And they could only walk with you so far. And then that's when the third set of friends pick up. And that's when I realized I was now on holy ground, because the Holy Spirit revealed to me very clearly. I remember falling prostrate on my floor and saying, there's some things that your friends can do and help you with. But every man comes to a point in his life where only God can help you. Only the Holy Spirit can help you. And I remember crying out to God, if I die tomorrow, you've done all that you could ever do for me, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. But if I did die, who's going to tell my testimony like me? Who's going to tell this miracle that you're about to deliver me from but me and like me? I did a David on him. Yeah. And then not far, long after that, Bishop Tudor Bismarck was in town. And a friend of mine said, hey, he wants to see you, because, you know, when he used to come here, I was his armor bearer. He says, I want to see him. Tell him to come see me when I'm ministering. And in this congregation was packed. And it was only one seat left and was right behind his. And he was preaching. He saw me come in, stopped the sermon, and rebuked death off of my life, which would confirm what I had prayed and cried out to God. And I'm still here.
Yeah.
I think I look pretty good for losing 110 pounds, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I'm getting my sexy back, Pastor.
Well, you know, you look good before the 110 pounds.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
In
the spirit of today's conversation. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's another conversation.
Yeah, a whole another conversation. Nia, it looks like we have a little bit more time left, but winding down. Any concluding comments from your perspective? Thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome. I don't really have, unless you have a question.
Well, you know, I always have a question, but I'll go to Natasha, Dr. Natasha. Thank you again for coming in from college. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. Okay. I shouldn't thank you. I shouldn't mention where you came from. I know, but, you know, hey, somebody just tuned in. So.
They don't need to know where I came from.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right.
So you
came from around the corner.
Your instruction was for us to ask a question that we thought people may want to ask, and so one question that I think people probably are asking is what can I do to feel better, or what can I do to lose weight, or what can I do to get over the hump? And the short answer is something. Don't get settled into doing nothing. Because your body is your responsibility and your well-being is your responsibility, then you have to do something. And there are some evidence-based things that can be done. There's going to counseling, and there's exercising, and there's eating a certain way. But my offering is what I say would be to do something. Don't do nothing.
Before I go to Nia, let's talk about very quickly what some of those somethings may be. How about exercise? Right? Start doing something a little bit.
Yes.
Huh?
And the recommendation is 30 minutes a day.
Okay.
Start there.
Okay. You mentioned cholesterol and high blood pressure in spite of your size. So a visit to your clinic or physician to get an assessment of what's going on. All right. Diet, eating a healthy diet. No binging, bullying yourself, but being responsible. Right. I read a while back that laughing.
Therapy.
I'm gonna get there. I'm sorry. 1 minute. I got 1 minute. Oh shoot. Okay. Thank you. With therapy, of course. Matter of fact, Nia made a great statement last time she was here. She said therapy was liberating for her. So we just gave you 5 practical steps there. I think Nia. So that I guess that 45 seconds left. You want to say something?
No.
Good.
I will say, stop making comments on people's bodies. good, bad, otherwise, it's not helpful. I had to tell my parents at one point or ask them to stop making comments about my body.
No, she told us.
Yeah.
So even if it's a positive thing, just leave it alone.
Even if it's positive, honestly. Like, I love your shirt. You're glowing. But comments about anyone's physical appearance, I would say, don't do it.
So if somebody has lost 60 pounds, like Dwayne, don't say you look good with that weight loss.
Well, I wouldn't advise anybody to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm asking the question for the people listening.
But to his point, though, you don't know if it's health related. The person could be depressed, and you're like, keep it going.
Allow that person to give that information, to make the comment if they want to make the comment. Because what if you say, when are you due? And I'm not pregnant.
Yeah. This is good. Hey, we got how many? 15 seconds left. We gone. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. See you Sunday at church.